Hey, welcome.
What's going on, Robbie?
Hey, Craig.
How you been?
I've been okay.
Yeah? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, Craig Stewart, I'll introduce you. And we got your Snapchat and your Instagram.
Yeah, I'm really proud about my Snapchat handle, actually, because I made a Snapchat so early when it first released that I didn't have to put any X's or numbers in my handle. So my Snapchat username is just Craig Stewart.
Yeah, you're the first and only Craig Stewart.
Yeah, I want to sell it, but nobody's offered me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you would think there would be, like, a successful corporate person with my same first and last name.
That wants to use Snapchat.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, my Snapchat handle is the cleanest possible first and last name.
Do you have a TikTok?
No.
Okay.
I just watch, like, TikTok curations. I haven't made an account, though.
You have a YouTube?
Yeah, technically, but my YouTube channel is just, like, videos from 8th grade. Like, one time I had to do, like, a book report, but, like a video book report. And so, you know the game The Sims?
Yeah.
I did, like, this capture card thing where I put, like a caption over gameplay of me playing The Sims to depict a storyline in a book.
You put a what over it?
I played The Sims.
And then you did audio recording over it?
No audio recording. I just turned in me playing The Sims as my book report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you edit it down, or was it just like an hour of you playing The Sims?
It was shitty.
Oh wait, was it? You said was it screen capped, or was it like a video footage of like somebody holding a camera?
No, it's just like a corny middle school like book report captions. Like I would have a caption.
Oh,
like,
captions.
Caption that would say, "Once upon a time, in Venezuela, the old man and the sea." I don't think it was The Old Man and the Sea, though. I think it was a different book. I can't remember. It was The Pearl. You familiar with that book, The Pearl?
No.
I don't remember anything about it.
Wait, but was it game footage of you playing The Sims?
Yes. So
and then you put captions over in post in like iMovie or something?
I created a man and woman in Sims, and I dressed them up to look like very 19th century.
And then it was set in Venezuela? In a shack or something?
Well,
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying shack. But.
Well, the Pearl. No, they do live in shacks. That's accurate. But The Pearl is about a man who gets overcome with greed because he finds a pearl.
Okay.
Yeah,
and it was based on that book.
Yeah, it's like I think it was about like a poor family, and like it's always like a story about a fisherman, like some like Central American fisherman where that finds something valuable.
But
and it's like
so this was like a step up from a diorama or something. It's like this is I've sculpted this out of this game or whatever. Sculpted isn't the right word, but
what's your definition of the word diorama?
It's like a shadow box, like it's like a shoe box or something that you can
shadow boxing.
It's a 3-dimensional thing where you can like cut out little figurine or put little figure. It's like a nativity,
and that correlates with a poor fisherman finding a pearl. How?
Oh, because of book reports, I used to have to make like.
Oh, you're comparing it to the fact that it was a book report, not the.
Yeah, not the story. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm not mad about it.
We got from Snapchat to The Sims though.
Yeah, that was fun.
I had a follow-up question about Snapchat, but I wonder if do companies use Snapchat though?
Yeah, I feel like at this point, like every companies are like well into having every social media extremity. I mean, not like old school companies where it's like Bill's Sheetrock. They probably don't have
right, like a construction company that has a Tumblr.
Yeah, or like an auto body shop that has a TikTok. That would just be weird. It's because like I've always noticed that the least, or the people that have the worst customer service skills, like customer service in like just like a niceness sense, like,
Yeah.
hey, how you going? You doing good? You want a nice car? Like the people who have the worst customer service skills are always people who work at auto body shops. But they're able to do that because it's such a necessity to get your car fixed, so they can just be like, they can just grunt at you.
They have to be like, hey, credit card.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or like, hey, something's wrong with this part of your car.
Yeah, well, if I'm talking to like a stranger in like I need to buy something sense, I do this at work too. Like I'll make my voice higher than it is.
Oh yeah,
because my regular speaking voice, it doesn't sound like a nice person. You know,
it's like more abrasive.
Yeah, or it's just my tone of voice. Like I'm not trying to sound like disgruntled, but like if I go into an auto body shop, I'll be like, hey, I'm just gonna get an oil change. Is that okay? Like I almost sound timid because I'm trying to make my voice higher, and then they'll just grunt at me.
Yeah.
Like, have you been here before?
Yeah.
Well, make a model. It'd be about 2 hours. Is that okay? We're pretty busy today.
Yeah.
2 hours, oil change. Oil filter, air filter.
Like that's like Jiffy Lube. Shout out.
Jiffy Lube is a bunch
by
of teenagers,
Jiffy.
But they charge you up the ass. Jiffy Lube's like $60. If you go to the place that has a $15 oil change, then they treat you like shit. But you're only paying $15, so it's okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I book my oil changes out like a week in advance, and then I drive 20 to 30 minutes from my house just because I know the people. I've known the people, and I haven't.
Are they like family friends, or you've just been going to the same place for a long time?
An old coworker used to work there, and that's like the only draw. And then they don't even work there anymore. I'm just like buddies with the guy who owns it, and then the front desk woman who like drives the cars back around. Or
the front desk. She works front desk and drives the cars to the front.
Yeah, she does the customer service. And then, and then
that's preferable though. Like if an auto shop is gonna have a female employee, that sounds weird when I say it like that. Mm-hmm. Auto shops generally don't have female employees, but if they do, it's generally they're better, or they just have more customer service interpersonal skills than the guy covered in grease stains.
Yeah, I'll buy into that. Sure.
Yeah. Have you ever spent too much money on an item just because the salesperson was an attractive woman? Like something something that you can buy a cheap version of or an expensive version of,
but it's being explained to you by an employee.
like someone had a sales pitch thrown at you, and the person like pitching the sale to you was really attractive, so you spent too much money.
I don't think I've had that happen, but it might. I just can't think of it.
Oh, okay.
Did you have that happen?
Yeah, that I think this place is still open. It's called Peace of Mind. It's like a
head shop.
Yeah, it's a head shop in Seattle. Where is it located?
I think there was more than one. There was one in the U District on University, and there's one in Fremont across from a weed shop.
Yeah.
That has a taco truck outside.
Okay, so just for context, this is like senior year of high school. I was, I wasn't paying bills, but I was working part-time at Little Caesars. Yeah. So my weekly income was maybe $150. But, at that point in my life, I would just spend my money on like teriyaki and cigarettes and stuff.
Right.
So I didn't have a lot of like responsibilities, but I had broken like a $20 bong that I had. No, a $20 like oil rig, for smoking hash oil.
Sure.
And I needed to get another one, and then my intention was just to buy like a whatever $20 or $30 rig they had just to get the job done. And so I drove my 1999 Ford Escort, which I eventually sold to Esteban Mendoza. I don't know if that car is still running now, but I drive to Peace of Mind. And then I walk in, and the first thing I say is like, I'm just looking to get like a $20, $30 rig. Like, I'm not looking to spend that much money. And the person that greeted me, or that was pitching the sale to me, was, and I was just way more. I feel like I've gotten so much less horny.
Yeah.
Because I shouldn't not be horny because I'm only 25. But if I compare how horny I am now to how horny I was at 18,
sure,
like I was popping boners several times a day
at
18. Like even just like walking from class to class in high school, I would pop boners. just by like seeing someone attractive. But I don't really.
Yeah.
Like, it takes more to get me hard now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I like, you know what, I like the line that it's like it's like something really pathetic, but they say like, oh, that's the only way that person can get hard anymore, you know? But it's like something really sick or sadistic, like knocking someone's ice cream cone out of their hand or something.
Yeah.
But that's not sexual.
Really? Something really sadistic. I thought you were going to like refer to like bondage or something.
Yeah.
Knocking ice cream. That's what gets me going, man. If I see this fucking kid at the Mariners game and get fucking knock his ice cream
I buy
out of his
an
hand.
expensive flower vase and I just break it.
I'm going to go inside your freezer and take your ice cream out and fucking put it down the trash.
I'm going to serve you ice cream and then disappoint you.
I'm going to wait till it's middle of July. I'm going to steal your ice cream, put it outside. I'm going fucking crazy.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So you went in and she was like, hey, you should buy this $200 bong.
Talking about boners was more climatic than the end of my story. But yeah, I ended up spending like $300 on a rig.
Wow.
Yeah.
You didn't have a price cap. You didn't have the discretion in your head to be
No,
like,
and it
I
wasn't
can't pay
even-
more than $150.
It wasn't even like I was trying to parlay it into like getting her number or something, because like I think, you know, living with your parents is a very good way to discourage yourself from putting effort into flirting. You know?
Yeah, like you're gonna have to not go back to your place unless they're out of town or something.
Yeah. And you know, it's kind of odd to be like, hey, it was fun hanging out. Do you want to get this Motel 6? Why don't we just go back to your place?
Have you rented a motel before?
Not to have sex,
Yeah.
just to sleep.
Yeah. Have you rented a car? Wait, you're 25 now, so
No, I've rented a car. I had to pay an extra $140 because I was 24 at the time.
I rented a car in oh yeah. Well, and then if you pay for the insurance, then that's
it's the final like age restricted thing that exists is not paying a surcharge to rent a car if you're over 25.
Well, you can't be president unless you're over 35 or something.
Oh, that is the final age, but there's more restrictions to that than age.
Yeah, you have to be like
can't be a fucking immigrant like me. I could never be president.
I mean,
no, I could be governor.
You
but
got
not
10
president.
years.
I can't be president or governor.
Do you have to be
by law
born in America?
Yeah, by law you have to be born in America.
Is that why the controversy over Barack Obama? They were like, he was born in Libya or whatever.
Yeah, well, you think
or Kenya or
his Wikipedia says he was born in Hawaii.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the more minor conspiracy theories about.
Yeah, and to look back on that, it's weird because like that's such a minor conspiracy theory compared to like now.
Pizzagate or something.
Yeah, what's Pizzagate?
It was something about child porn in the basement of a pizza place, and Hillary Clinton had to do with something. Maybe it was like it probably had to do with QAnon or something. And now now since we said
Hillary Clinton had a pizza place and a child sex dungeon.
So I don't
go on place, and the serving pizza was the front, and then what happened downstairs.
It's like Fight Club, but it's child club.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that was all on like.
If I were to get molested, I would prefer to have pizza along with that molestation rather than just factory standard molestation.
You might get,
but I feel like a lot of kids that get molested, they do get some type of ice cream or pizza out of it.
You'd probably get triggered though from pizza in the future, so pizza's gonna be ruined.
Nah, but I've been eating like shit for so long, like I think I would still like pizza.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really the cheese that makes you happy. It's kind of like ice cream that makes you happy, or
Yeah.
Makes one happy.
But I think like because you grew up on the West Coast too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I think like we have such like a watered down perception of what good pizza is. Because I think for most people on the West Coast, like if you like I can enjoy Pizza Hut, I'm able to enjoy Domino's, But do you ever watch like those pizza reviews, those Barstool pizza reviews?
I've watched
a
little bit. I've also been to like Connecticut and New York. And
well, just like aesthetically, like I've never even been to the East Coast, but some of the pizzas that he has on there just look way better than even just like a sit-down non-fast food place here. So I don't know what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I eat pizza a lot, but I don't molest kids. You know, I enjoy the pizza part.
Keep those. Yeah. Keep those.
I've never met Hillary Clinton either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if anyone can afford to molest people, it's probably Hillary Clinton. You know.
I guess so. I feel like I should have researched this. Maybe I shouldn't have.
I mean, whatever. Yeah, Hillary and Bill definitely got some bodies in their closet.
I guess so. I never assumed that when when he was president. I was also like 17 or something, or 15. I don't know.
It's my hypothesis that it's my hypothesis that $1 billion was paid to have Epstein murdered in his cell. And so, like, if there was, like, 20 politicians that went to his, like, pedophile island, like, what's 1/20th of $1 billion? That's how much Bill probably paid, right? Yeah. Do you think Bill Clinton is a rapist?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. You know, it's all alleged.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to speculate on.
He was like slanging dick for a while, though. I feel like it's public knowledge that Bill Clinton likes to slang dick, but it's just kind of up in the air whether or not he's a child rapist.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with positions of power, like being the president, and probably
especially
before
like pre-internet, like because he came to power like right at the beginning of the internet, or like pre Me Too, pre-internet, pre-cancel culture, like
yeah,
those rapists were hanging and banging before all this stuff, you know.
Yeah, you just had the landlines and then cell phones, but like
you can't get caught for a rape with a landline, right?
You can if you're tapped. If they tap you, but they have to go in and tap you.
So you would have to call someone on their landline and say, "I'm gonna fuck you," and then hang up.
Somebody has to have a wire on them, and then they have to be in. You know, like they have to admit it in front of the person tapped.
Yeah, that's how they caught Pablo Escobar.
Or
right?
hidden,
but they had like satellite phones
or hidden video camera.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Or DNA testing.
Yeah, they've had that for a while though, right? It's just got the technology is better now than previously.
And then fingerprints, bruises, detectives.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It's I'm not an expert in
homicide detector, rape,
criminal investigation,
sex crime.
Yeah.
But you did buy a hash bubbler when you were 18.
Well, that was. But I think now you have to be 21. But this was back in the day, 2014, baby.
Yeah. Do you not have to be 21?
I think for
if it's a tobacco, if it's sold.
I think all tobacco products are 21 now. Like that started a few years ago.
You wouldn't. They would sell a hash or whatever what's the correct terminology for that. A hash bubbler. Anyways.
The slang in my high school was oil rig.
A dab rig.
Yeah, okay. Dab rig or oil rig. I like dab rig better. It's more straightforward. Oil rig, it's
hard. It's hard to imagine though. Like, oh yeah, you can put concentrated tobacco on this dab rig. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess even now they probably don't have to like pretend like, because I remember prior to recreational shops opening up, there were certain smoke shops that would like be very adamant about calling a bong a water pipe.
Right.
They did not want to call it a bong, so the sign would say water pipe. But I think now they can call it a bong, just because it's fully legal.
Yeah.
You dig?
I dig.
You know what I'm saying?
I spent $250 on a bong once, and then I think I left it at my roommate's place on purpose, and then I think he was cleaning it and it slipped out of his hand and he broke it by accident.
Who was this person?
He was like an older brother figure of mine that lived in Georgetown. He dated a friend of my oldest sister, and I was like, when I moved out of my dad's house, which was technically still my mom's house, but
did he apologize?
Did
he apologize or pay, or did he apologize and pay, or just
it was a gift.
Apologize?
It was a gift to him. Like,
you left that part out.
I left it there, and I was like,
you painted this man to be some evil friend that broke your.
No, he's a kind man, a kind soul.
Okay, so it was a gift to him, though.
I mean, it was a gift to the house, which was essentially, I mean, he paid rent there, so.
But were you not living in this house?
I moved out after, like, I don't know, a year and a half or something.
Okay, so you gave it to him as a gift while you were living there, or after?
No, I was just like, you can have this. I don't think I want to bring this conversation. Yeah, it's so many details.
Can you write this story out for me?
I could. I have another one of those too.
No, not this conversation. This entire this entire thing is not tiring, but just that specific story was tiring because I got lost in it.
Yeah. Do you want another one of those?
Oh, no, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Are you doing swell?
I'm good.
Are you like, you still have a day job somewhere at the pizza place?
No, I haven't had a day job. Well, now I work in this studio.
Oh, you're doing the studio thing full time?
Yeah, I mean, we're just getting off the ground, so it's kind of like
Did you work
startup.
at Hot Mama's Pizza?
I did work at Hot Mama's Pizza.
Yeah, that was the majority of the time I knew you. You were the GM of
Yeah,
Hot Mama's.
I quit like twice, I think, or at least once. Excuse me. Yeah, I worked there for over a decade, like 13 years.
Yeah, you told me. You even said that pizza place gave you like a 401k, right?
Right. At one point, they had to upgrade their accounting, and they had to offer a retirement plan. I actually should call my 401k people because they sent me snail mail being like, hey, you need to move this money to something else. It's just a couple grand, which is still something, but
yeah.
Yeah, the dude, the owner's nice. Sure, I'll say that since I'm on recording. But yeah, he's essentially like a surrogate father figure in a way, which maybe is why I wanted distance. I had to grow up on my.
That's such a crazy long time to work at a pizza place too, because normally when you hear that people work over a decade somewhere, it's like their career job that they might not love, but it's like, well, I went to school for engineering, so I got to be an engineer for 30 years.
My mom always looked at it. She was like, I always imagined it's a job that you get to work and you don't have to think about it when you're not at work, and
just go on autopilot,
and it funds all your hobbies. Because I used to be into like glass blowing before.
Yeah, I remember that.
Before comedy, and then before glass blowing, I was into scratching records or like turntable stuff. Yeah, DJing kind of.
They must have. I mean, for a pizza place, they must have paid you pretty well though, because normally like food places don't pay well enough to keep people a long time unless it's like a legitimate upscale restaurant.
Yeah, I think I started at like $9.20 an hour.
Yeah.
$9.20, and then I ended at like $24 an hour, and then I was also making mileage, like $1.50 a pizza I delivered.
So were you the GM, but you were also delivering pizzas?
Yeah, I had pizza delivery experience, but eventually I was working morning shifts, which is like we open at 10 or something.
What was your most bizarre customer experience? Like whether it
inside
be delivering
or outside?
a pizza, like both. Whether it's delivering a pizza or just someone walking in.
Man, I've been really deaf centric lately, so like delivering to a deaf person was really interesting because I got into their building and I got to the door, but they couldn't hear me. Mm-hmm. And I think eventually I like sat in the hallway trying to call the person that was going to call their phone that like blinks.
Okay.
And then I got their pizza to them. That's not like
that was the most bizarre experience, you delivering pizza to a deaf person,
and then not being able.
It's like I had to call their helper, so the helper took the phone call. A deaf person walked downstairs. I gave the deaf person
or just
pizza.
opened the door. Yeah.
You never got like held up with a gun or anything like that?
No, I did. No.
You worked there over a decade.
I do have
the most bizarre experience was a deaf man ordering a pizza.
that was a difficult. I have one that I shared on before on a previous podcast. I saw a dead body on a delivery. It was
there we go.
It was the Sierra Club person that got stabbed to death by some crazy person on the street up on Capitol Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So I delivered a pizza, and then I come out of the building and I see somebody like a body face down in the grass. And
wait, so you saw the body prior to any police being called, or like you were the first witness of the body?
No, I was like the third or fourth, and the ambulance wasn't there yet.
Oh, so were there other people near the body that were like, "Oh my God"?
There were some. They weren't really right next to it because if it's dead, why hover over a dead body? But
they knew it was there.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, this is."
I was hoping you'd say that, like, there's two people that saw it but didn't do anything. It was like, yeah, you should probably call the cops. You know, I gotta get home.
I'm busy. I gotta get back to the pizza place.
I did something similar to that. It wasn't a body though, but I witnessed the aftermath of an arson. I mean, not really an arson. It was just, you know, the big toys they have at elementary schools, the big slides and shit. So this was near 4th of July, so more so then than now, a lot of kids would like fuck around with fireworks, including myself.
Yeah.
So I was walking from my friend's house to my house, and I had to crossing through the elementary school playground was a shortcut I would take. So I was walking, it was maybe like 11 at night. So I walked through the playground, I see that one of the slides at the playground is completely engulfed in flames.
Whoa.
Like the plastic slide, but like it wasn't. This is why I didn't call the fire department, because the plastic slide was attached to metal platforms. All the other plastic stuff was far enough away that it was not catching on fire.
What was the ground?
The ground was wood pellets.
Okay.
So that was something that
probably
could have caught fire. But no, that wasn't my reason for not calling the cops. I did not call the cops because I knew that I was, if I was a kid, like at a playground near 4th of July, they were going to question me as if like I knew something about it, which I was just being paranoid, because if I'm the one calling 911, then they shouldn't question me.
You're suspect number one. You're like, can I?
Yeah, but they shouldn't suspect the person that calls 911. That's kind of a discouraging people.
Unless the arsonist gets off on.
Yeah, but I just knew that it would be less trouble for me to let the big toy burn down. But the cops were called because I texted my friend. I was like, dude, check this out. The fucking big toy's on fire. And he was like, what the fuck? Let me look at that. And I was like, I'm going to go home, though. I don't want to stick around for this.
Mm-mm.
So he ended up calling the cops. And, I mean, they didn't assume it was him. But I was worried about being the assumed suspect. I was worried about, them suspecting that it was me. So, yeah. I found out who did put it to fire, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was Bill Clinton.
Firegate.
Yeah, man. Bill's up to a lot of stuff these days.
Nah?
I think I'll work on my water.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. It's the first time I brought in beverages. Well, I mean, I bring water in, but...
Do you guys ever like eat pizza and drink beer in here?
I ate a gyro. But I ate the gyro with a fork. It was dismantled. I had some mac and cheese in here, like leftover today.
You can tell how loose of a podcast premise this is. I'm starting to ask you if you've ever eaten food in this studio.
Yeah. I usually bring a fig bar. I have a fig bar with me.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about that for 20 minutes?
Maybe. I wasn't really into fig bars, and then I lived with my roommates, is my family. Well, my sister and her family.
Yeah.
And they got me they got me turned on to Costco, but not like I hadn't been to Costco.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can buy these off-brand fig bars, and and so I now buy fig bars. And and they come in 3 flavors. It's regular fig, blueberry, and then you got raspberry, but it's all like a fig a fig base, so it's just like a slight flavor thing. And it's a good pick-me-up. I mean, it's like each one it's like 2 fig bars per package. And so you can, you don't even have to cut it in half, or if you're going to share it, you can just like eat one of them or eat half of one of them and then hand the other one. But nobody really wants your fig bar unless they're like a down-to-earth hippie or something. It's like, oh yeah, I'll eat figs and a little bit of wheat or whatever is surrounding the snack. But you can't just run on nothing, so it's good to have a probably semi-unhealthy, semi-healthy snack on hand, and that's 4 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think fig bars are too dry for my liking.
Yeah, talk to me in 5 years.
When I was fake sleeping, did it look like I was smiling at all, or did it look
I don't
genuine?
think so. It looked genuine. I had a hard time not laughing.
I was laughing in my head, and I was worried that I was smiling. But
I used to be on like this fake NPR podcast called Local Look, and
MDR.
And I think I learned from this local comedian, Sadie Blake.
Mm-hmm.
I think she or they, I don't know if how they identify now, but they kind of taught me, because we always laugh at this scripted dialogue, and somebody taught me, like, or maybe Sadie was like, it's just a line. You don't have to laugh at it. Just concentrate on saying the line. And I think that's probably key to really funny moments when you're...
Yeah, it's always spontaneous. It's also, like, I think a lot of it depends on, like, the inherent or just kind of the organic chemistry one person has with another person. Like, if it's 2 people, especially if it's 2 people that know each other very well and have a lot of experiences with each other, then it's like there's years of, like, there's years of experiences, inside jokes, etc. But you can, if it's someone you know really well, you can kind of finish each other's sentences and know, like, what course you're taking a conversation. And, like, throw a tag in here, throw a tag in there.
Yeah, but if it's like
tag.
If it's scripted and then it's just a really funny scene, or if it's not meant to be funny but you keep cracking each other up.
Yeah, but it just sounds like a table read, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen, like, it's always like the very, very new open micer that their first few times performing at an open mic, they will take a full, like, a printer paper sized piece of paper that has the joke written out, like, in paragraph form.
Sure.
And they will just recite a paragraph off a piece of paper.
Did you see that more in LA than Seattle?
No, it's not a LA or Seattle thing.
Okay.
It's just a shit open micer thing. It's just, I don't know. It's because
my first set, I had a piece. I had like a few pieces of paper, but they were just like lines.
Yeah, I'm not talking about just like someone referring to their notebook on an open mic. Like that's.
I mean,
totally
I basically
fine.
I read it verbatim, but they were pretty funny. So
yeah. But you have like short. You have a lot of like short, snappy one-liner jokes, or your style of comedy is not. It's not.
It depends on the audience.
I'm blanking on the obvious word.
Setup punchline.
It's not conventional.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's more anti-comedy, but then I do have those one-liners, so I can kind of fit into.
I'm talking about the dumb shit, brand new comic that will.
I get it.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, they're right. They're like, they aren't paying attention to the audience reaction, and they're just like, and then we sold the thing on fire or something.
Yeah, and it's, if you're just reading a paragraph, like, there's no sense of timing too. Like, because I've never written a joke out beginning, middle, and end prior to performing it one time. Like, I've never written 18 sentences and like, okay, this is a bit, and then took those 18 sentences on stage. Like, I'll always just write down a premise and then throw the premise out and then find tags just with repetition. You got to feel it out. You can't just write a bunch of words and think it'll go well.
Yeah, no, I've definitely, I mean,
shitty.
even like 2 years ago, I've written a bunch of words and then the audience wasn't really feeling it, and I was just reading out, and then I realized I wasn't, doing good, and I'm like, well, why am I reading off of this? And then, well, why am I like not committing to the bit anymore, or the the method? And then, some nights are like that, I guess. But
yeah, I don't really know what to think of my stand-up now. Like, I felt like I was in a good groove prior to moving to LA, and then in LA I was having fun with everything that was not stand-up, just because I thought it was, I just thought it was appalling to pay $5 to do an open mic set, and then when you finally do get booked, they're asking you to do 5 to 7 minutes that they are also not paying you for. So like,
and they're expecting you to maybe bring audience too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, we booked you on a show, so you don't have to pay us because it's a book spot. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, oh, could you bring?
Do you
like
get
4
a
people?
free drink ticket even? Or
No, you don't get shit. No.
Yeah.
And
they're like, can you still buy a drink for your
it'll-
free spot that you don't have to pay us for?
It'll be like a dog shit bringer show where one comic on the show is a well-connected real estate agent, so they're able to bring the entire crowd.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, you got to work on bringing more people to the show. It's like, how about I just have a good set?
They're like,
Asshole.
can you take my real estate class? Can you buy into this kind of semi-pyramid scheme?
Oh yeah, dude. There's a lot of like, there were like pyramid schemes with even just like the flyer for a show, because I remember this guy asked me to do 7 minutes at a show, and I was like, all right, sick, I'll do that. And then he sent me a flyer that said like such and such comedy venue, starring Craig Stewart, and it had like just my picture on the flyer, but I was one of 10 comics doing like 7 minutes. So it's like, oh, use this for promotion, man. It's like, I'm not gonna front.
Just me. Yeah. You're not gonna see that it's 10. They have to sit through.
Yeah, it's just dishonest, and it's like, it just seems very desperate. Because I did end up posting it because I felt like, oh, this makes me feel important. I want people to think I'm doing. But it's like, oh, you're doing great, man. Go for it. Yeah, it's like.
How many people in LA did you meet, or that were working on their book, or whatever, or their?
Yeah, that's why I felt out of place, because I've only ever had interest with doing stand-up comedy. Like, I want to do a podcast and all that too, but like, most comics in LA, they want to be a stand-up comic, but they're also going to a lot of acting auditions, and they're writing a screenplay, and they're trying to get booked on commercials. But I've never remotely had interest with acting at all.
Did you do any casting calls?
No, I acted in one of Mike Maslotti's sketches.
Yeah, I saw the outtakes.
Yeah.
They posted like the.
I'm a dog shit actor, man. I could do voice acting. I think
you were in that skit. You were filming it, or I don't know. I remember it was a compromising situation because somebody was holding somebody upside down.
Oh, that was a backcracking sketch. I still think that's a good script, man. But I gotta.
Yeah, we should talk, because I took a script writing class, so at least I know how to format scripts. I'm actually trying to work on a full-length movie, but I want to improvise writing it. Yeah. Which is not how you should do things, but, I mean, unconventional,
Yeah,
so.
backcracking videos are very popular, too. The IPO.
It plays into ASMR stuff. What's IPO?
I think IPO is just a terminology for, like, what type of videos get views. I don't know what it means.
Okay.
But no, my most viewed video on Instagram, I posted it for the Unfunny page when it still existed. It was a video of my friend Colin Kasuda cracking his back on one of those like styrofoam back rollers you use.
Okay.
And then he was like stretching back.
Careful of the camera, but yeah.
Oh yeah. He was stretching back, and then my other friend was like my other friend Jackson was like trying to teach him how to do it. He was like, just stretch back, just stretch back. Then he goes, oh, and that was the whole video, and it got 10,000 views. It's just a video of this Asian man cracking his back, going, oh,
yeah,
got 10,000 views. So it's
that's a viral. That's a video.
That's where I want to go. That's where I want to go with creatively.
You wanna follow that path of like hard to film, like kind of orchestrated footage of like unique sounds.
It wasn't orchestrated or that. I know what you mean though. Like, I think the stuff.
Were you there for the filming of that one?
I was the one filming. This was just me filming him, or this was just coincidentally me filming him while he was cracking his back, and he made a funny sound, and that funny sound he made along with the hashtag back cracking. But a lot of like viral videos are like, they're like 15 seconds long. It's like someone falling over and making a sound, or someone like getting scared and making a sound. And like, there's 15-second videos that will have millions of views. So I think the goal is to like maybe have a scripted scare, prank, etc. video that's short. Like it's memeable. Memeable meaning someone makes a distinct face or makes a distinct sound, but it appears to be unprompted, or it appears to be spontaneous.
Yeah. I think even that guy Devin Rodriguez, the guy who does portraits of people on the subway in New York, that. I think now he was doing like acrylic paintings or oil paintings, but he doesn't have that much time to do an oil painting, and for it to dry. And so I think what they do is he's paid actors to do 2 little filming sessions, or like.
Wait, are the actors on the subway? And then
yeah. So they're in the car with him, across from him.
It's under the guise that he's doing this oil painting quickly on the subway, and he's like, "Here's a picture." And like,
right,
oh
it's like a picture of them, and he starts smearing the paint out, and then like, jump forward to him with the finished thing, giving it to them, and they're like, "What?
Wow,
you just did this?" And it's like, and then you look at the person's Instagram, and it said like actor.
Well, if the fact that it's scripted is now being leaked, do you think his fans will feel betrayed?
I think some of them will, but I think for the most part, people just want to see awesome art that somebody can produce, and if they can buy into the like kind of fictional fairy tale that this is happening.
Yeah, it's still impressive. If someone's good at drawing, they're good at drawing, but I have a suspicion that a lot of it's mostly like those young YouTubers that they get famous just for their vlogs. Like, we're gonna take this Tesla off a jump, or like, oh, don't tell Billy I'm here. I'm gonna scare the shit out of Billy, and then Billy drops a plate of spaghetti or something.
Right, and a lot of that's for like young kids, like people under 10 or something.
I don't think Billy is truly unsuspecting that someone will scare the plate of spaghetti out of his hands.
I think also people on YouTube, sometimes they start out with prank videos, and then they get
the old prank videos are good,
and then they get famous or whatever, or like notoriety, and then they stop doing that and they shift their focus. It's just more like, oh, what can we do that people want to see? What they reevaluate themselves.
Yeah, or like the production quality gets higher, but it kind of loses that
grittiness.
Not grittiness. It loses like we're just regular people having fun,
right?
Because now they're like filming their videos in a mansion, and it's like very high production camera angles and stationary camera. Angles. It's like
then they get someone to edit it. You know?
Well, you've heard of the YouTube channel Smosh, right? That's like one of the. So Smosh is like one of the very first regular sketch channels ever to be on YouTube. Like Smosh, they were making money off of YouTube like in 2006.
Wow!
Like very, very early YouTube, and it was 2 guys, Anthony and Ian. They were like just friends from school, and they got into the game like so early. But now, when they still have a channel now, but now it's like they have like the same production quality of like Saturday Night Live, where they have sets, like their own sets, where this is a gas station set, this is an airplane set. It's like they're basically like a movie studio now.
Yeah.
And it's I guess they still make money off YouTube, obviously, but it's not like, I guess it's just sentimental value because they're old videos I was watching as a child.
Did you ever watch that? It was a public access guy who would paint while he treadmills and blends drinks.
He paints while he's running on a treadmill while he's drinking.
Well, he blends like a mixed drink, and he's like taking live calls. It's called Let's Paint TV, and it was a thing like 15 years ago.
So is the whole thing just like, look at how silly this multitasking is?
He's like, how creative can we go and fail a lot and like keep going, and then he's like out of breath taking calls. And
what's the miles per hour on the treadmill?
He varies it. I don't know exactly, but he'll go into like a jog and then slow it down and then give a pep talk to his audience. And
it's not supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be inspirational.
It's supposed to be inspirational, but it ends up being funny. And
that makes it more funny. Like if he's not trying to be funny, he's like, this
and he's
is
like,
what you can do with your life.
Yeah, he's like,
you work hard.
He's like in his mom's basement too, but he's also middle aged and he's wearing like a suit and a tie. And
there's a lot of layers to this person.
Right.
I thought I was picturing like a motivational speaker, like in an auditorium. And he's
now,
like,
but now he's doing stuff on YouTube.
If you put your mind to it, you can do anything. You
Yeah.
can do anything at the same time that you're doing something else.
Yeah, and he gets on like a stationary bike now, like a regular bike, like a speed bike thing, and then
let me picture this. So he is on a treadmill. He is painting with one arm.
Yeah.
He is on the phone with the other arm.
Yeah, well, it's speakerphone or whatever, so he's
Who's he calling?
People are calling him. He has his number up on the screen.
And the people that call him, what do they ask him?
They're like, "Are your paintings for sale? How long you've been painting?" One of the episodes, somebody in his production is they have a ping pong table nearby, and he's on the treadmill playing ping pong and painting.
This is an idea he got from a dream. Like there's no way you could get that idea from something that's not a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And but his intention is supposed to be like inspirational. Or
it's kind of like you can
like
do
a determination thing.
I think so.
So his intent is not to look like a retard wasting time. His intention is to inspire people.
I think so. I mean,
multitask
he's also trying
extent.
He's trying to entertain. I mean, who knows how much of the oil paints are getting into his head, He does have like a
that's the reason why people will buy his paintings, is because he's painting these fucking things on a treadmill.
And I don't think he's really making them to sell them. It's just he's trying to make the content, but it's just it's an interesting show. I saw it repost.
Yeah, I think I already hate the guy.
Yeah. That's good.
I mean, if he was trying to be funny, I would get it. Like, oh, look at how I'm gonna trip. But if he's like painting on a treadmill and saying you gotta take control of your life, then he's not really
it's
like
just
that,
kind of.
though.
Yeah, I don't.
I think I'm misinterpreting this entire person.
I just wanted to mention it, but it's.
It made me angry.
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
mentioning this treadmill painter man.
We
upset me.
Distracted the focus.
Yeah, I just if I see someone that can do things that I cannot do, I get very mad. Get very mad at every professional athlete I see. I get mad at every scientist.
Do you get road rage?
No, not really.
Yeah. Do you get the Seattle road rage, which is like just passive, like you lower your voice and you're just like.
Well, no, like I'll get frustrated at drivers, but road rage is like I even if someone cuts me off, I don't usually honk my horn, because unless if someone cuts me off and I see it's like a very small frail person,
sure,
then I might honk. But if I don't see
you'd honk at a frail person.
Yeah, or my point is I would honk at someone who cannot kick my ass.
Oh, okay.
But if it's like some fucking Ford F-250 that cuts me off, I don't want to I don't want to risk it.
I've read. I mean, I've also been to New York and been around honking, and then came back and would honk for a few months as a pizza delivery driver, and then I'm like, but I've heard that honking is like only for like dangerous situations only. Otherwise,
that's what they teach you in driver's ed. But like, you know, I'll have the urge to honk at someone who cuts me off, but then I realize like the risk reward, because you could honk at a psycho.
How about behind, when somebody isn't paying attention to the light and then it turns green?
That makes sense, because they know that they're in the wrong for that. But you know, sometimes I think when people drive aggressive to cut people off, they're the type of people that
nowadays
I think they're
I don't
in the wrong.
I don't honk at those people.
You
I just
patiently wait.
Yeah, I wait, and then the person behind me honks.
Yeah, and then that person thinks that it was you.
Maybe, unless they have good hearing.
I don't know how many people can say this, but I don't think I've ever had an angry tirade in public in my life. Like, have you ever publicly
lost it?
Yeah. Has that ever happened to you?
I mean, when I was a kid, I'm sure I had a tantrum on the floor.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I can only remember the last time I ever lost. It wasn't really in public, though. It was behind Little Caesars when I worked there. But the last time I lost my temper, like in front of people, was towards the end of my tenure working at Little Caesars. I was a shift lead at the time, and I got my friend a job there, like an old childhood friend. I got him a job there, and he went missing in the middle of a dinner rush.
Okay.
Like, where the fuck did Daniel go?
And so it was personal.
Yeah, it was personal.
Had history.
Well, it was a combination of it being personal, and I had already put my 2 weeks in. So like, I didn't want to deal with shit when I was that. I didn't want to deal with bullshit when I was that close to quitting. So I went looking for him. He's out, and he's behind the restaurant in the middle of a dinner rush on like a Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah.
Smoking a blunt with his friends. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we got like fucking no pizzas on the rack. You think you can just come out here and smoke a blunt? Like, you fucking close the store yourself.
Are you still friends with him?
Yeah. I was like, but I said like, you fucking close the store yourself. And then I just clocked out, went home, and I was like, I texted the general manager. Like, hey man, Daniel's fucking smoking a blunt during the dinner rush. Like, you can fire me if you want, or I can finish my last 2 weeks. He's like, no, I'm gonna need you to come in tomorrow. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Huh. Well,
Yeah.
but he was kind enough to let you have the night off.
I mean, nobody let me have the night off.
You chose.
I clocked off and drove home.
Like...
But yeah, my exact words to my manager at the time were like, hey, I understand if you fire me, but obviously he knows I'm already leaving, so he doesn't want to be understaffed for the last 2 weeks I'm there. But
yeah,
that was over 5 years ago, so I can't remember a separate time where I lost my anger publicly.
I've acted like I was a little bit crazy just on the street, like riffing or like hanging with like Jason McBride or something. I've been like, I'm fucking crazy or something, you know, like.
That's like just riffing with comics, though, right?
Yeah. I can't really think of a time. Maybe it will come to me.
What type of thing makes you angry the most often? Like other people's behavior. I don't want to say pet peeve because it's like such an overused term.
Right.
But
I don't want to like talk
about
what
frequently agitates you in terms of other people's behavior.
I mean, I live with my sister's family.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how much I want to talk about that, but I don't think they'll watch this either.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle Comics podcast average about 34 views. So as long as those 34 people are not your family.
Yeah. I don't think they even have. I'm really fumbling over this.
Spit it out. You didn't have to say that it was related to your family either. Now it's already too late, but you could have just said, I hate when certain people do this.
Well, my brother-in-law does a lot of like tapping or like percussion-y, like
like nervous habit.
Like a nervous habit thing, yeah. like Mike Maslotti like does this or whatever. You know, like. So I think that I'm it's not really as
that
big
doesn't
of a
agitate you. Does that actually agitate you? Like it's kind of
no. It's very very low key.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I get something that agitates me is genocide.
Yeah,
I think genocide's bad.
that's like a lot of people dying.
Yeah. Genocide is when a lot of people die, and it's more than just a little bit.
Right. It's like more than it's a lot of the population of those people.
Yeah, it's like because like if a serial killer, even like someone who kills a lot of people, like if I look at Ted Bundy, I just think, oh, 20 plus people, that's a lot. But a genocide is more than 20 people. A genocide could be 20 people though.
I mean, right? I just saw Myanmar killed like 100 civilians, right? But that's not.
I didn't hear about that.
But that's 100. That's not genocide. That's like
That's like a 20th. Do you think genocide is bad?
Yeah, I'd imagine. Maybe I'd need a better from our made up, our little scrapped up definition
experience, but
I haven't experienced genocide. But
yeah, Sam, I've never been part of a genocide.
I think
at all.
The result of a genocide involves refugees.
Yeah,
which
Yeah, man, all those trying to take our jobs.
I think we should give our jobs to anybody who wants them.
Yeah. I don't.
But that I don't mean to throw you under the bus.
Oh, like I am an immigrant that took jobs away from, but I'm also an American citizen.
Were you born in Indonesia?
Yeah, I was born in Indonesia, but it was like some type of weird citizenship abroad clause. Like I was born an American citizen in Indonesia.
Because your parents were American?
No, my dad's American. My mom's Indonesian. But I was born to a white father in Indonesia.
How long did your dad live in Indonesia?
I think he lived there maybe a little bit over 10 years, or maybe just about 10 years. Because my older sister and I, we were both born there. She was born in 93. I was born in 95. And then we moved back to America in 97. So I was still a baby.
Does your dad have citizenship there? Or do you as well?
Well, no, my dad's born and raised in America.
But you can achieve. I mean, he probably had a visa when he lived there.
I don't have dual citizenship. That's why it's weird. I was born a full American citizen. If you look at my birth certificate, it says citizenship abroad, and it has the U.S. seal and the Indonesian seal. But I don't have dual citizenship.
I wonder, were you born at an American hospital in Indonesia or something?
No, I was born on a leap year, and that's what did it.
Oh, what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand that.
Yeah, I'm lying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not Craig Stewart.
I'm really Barack Obama, and I pull off a rubber mask. I'm Bill Clinton.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. You should make the effort to, because you're really into filming and shit too. So.
I don't have the good cameras though.
Okay, you're not into filming.
No, all I think I need is
travel. That's my point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then find some kind of funny backtracking video when I'm traveling.
I know if I ever get ample enough or an ample amount of money, I want to get into travel vlogging.
Yeah.
Because I think.
But doing it for the experience and less for the.
Yeah, but I think you have to do it a certain way because I hate travel. There's a certain type of travel vloggers where they will only go to very touristy destinations.
Sure.
They'll oh, this is what Cabo is like, and then it's it's quick edits with EDM music playing, and it's oh, hot girl ass. Look at these chicks at the bar.
Rope swing.
Beaches. Yeah, exactly.
Street food, rope swing.
Yeah, and that shit's just dumb. So I think are you familiar with the YouTuber Bald and Bankrupt?
Mm-mm.
He does a lot of travel vlogs of very desolate towns in Eastern Russia, former Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
But he broke the record for fastest growing YouTube channel ever. I think they said he got from 0 to 2 million followers in less than 1 year. And I think it's a lot of that has to do with because there's so little footage out there of like off the beaten path.
Do you know what year it was?
Destination. He makes videos.
No,
now.
I mean, what year was the 2 million?
His YouTube channel's only been around for I think like 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
But yeah, he goes to like all these little towns in eastern Russia or central Russia that nobody has ever heard of.
I was thinking when you were saying that, like, it's boredom. It's people who are bored watching us. But no, like the heart.
That's accurate too.
But also, like, well,
because
less traveled areas is interesting, especially
of course,
to people.
You'll see commercials for like Cabo and Hawaii and the Bahamas and stuff like that.
I was just doing a little research for like cheap, warm places to live in the world, and there was like this island between Sicily and North Africa.
Yeah.
It was called like Maltz or something, or
what's it called?
Malta, I think.
No, my dead uncle was about to work there before he died. The Maldives.
No, it was called Malta, but Maldives is also a place. That's a place. I don't know where that is.
Man, I thought it was going to be a correlation with my dead uncle and the place you were thinking of.
I had an uncle that died in Liberia because he was in the Peace Corps.
Oh shit!
And he had some kind of inner ear balance problem, and he fainted, and then he drowned in like not very much water. And the tribe he was living with invited my mom's family to come like hang out, and nobody wanted to go except my mom, and she wasn't married to my dad yet, but they went together as a couple to hang out.
Okay. And
that's like the story.
So your mom, father, and uncle were all in Liberia.
No. My
uncle. Your uncle was working for the UN or something.
My uncle was in Liberia, died, and then my mom and dad went and visited the tribe.
Shit. Yeah, I mean that makes two of us. My uncle, because that's a freak accident. My uncle died. I think it was like 3 years ago. Yeah, so it was the summer that I moved to LA, so I think that was like almost 3 years ago. But he was just hiking the Grand Canyon with some friends.
Wow!
And in like the middle of July, so it was over 100 degrees.
Yeah,
and he was a bush pilot in Alaska, so I think a lot of it had to do with like he was overweight, but if you live in Alaska for several years, maybe you just get super acclimated to year-round cold weather. So from going from Alaska to hiking the Grand Canyon, he just got heat stroke and died.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Have you been to that Grand Canyon?
No, I haven't been there. My parents went there like pretty recently just to kind of check it out. They didn't really hike it though. But it was cool because after he died, he had like VHS, because he used to do stand-up comedy in New York City.
Oh, okay.
So I received these 2 VHS tapes of him performing in New York City comedy clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. In like it was like the early 90s when he was like a comic.
And you watched them, I'm guessing?
Yeah, he was getting more time at a comedy club than I do. Shit, he did I was like 2 10-minute sets, both on VHS.
Do your parents still have a VHS player?
Yeah, so I got to watch it. He was wearing he was like way skinnier, in the early 90s, and he was wearing like a tucked in Madonna t-shirt. Okay. Yeah.
Did he have respectable bits or sets? Like, did he get laughs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously biased watching it because it's my dead uncle that I like.
Well, that's like inspirational. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, he ended up becoming a bush pilot. He didn't end up becoming.
What's a bush pilot? Is that
they fly like the small airplanes in Alaska? But he was actually a pilot before he started acting and doing comedy.
Yeah.
So he did the whole thing where he saved up money from his career job and then quit for a few years to pursue acting and stand-up comedy. And his claim to fame with acting, initially it was he got a part on All My Children. It was like a soap opera, but he was just like a emergency room technician that just said his only line was head trauma, possible concussion.
Yeah.
And that was like years of burning through his savings. He went to like acting classes too.
Right, yeah.
And like the only part he got was head trauma, possible concussion. And then, but actually, like decades later, after he went back to flying airplanes in Alaska. Discovery Channel did a show about the same company that he worked for, flying airplanes for. It was called Flying Wild Alaska. It only lasted a few seasons, but he had some airtime on that show, just like being a pilot, like not acting.
So he had lines. Well, not lines, but he had.
I think he was half acting because the producers would kind of want to make it exciting.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
my landing gear's kind of stuck. Ugh.
Yeah, this is weird. This has not come up before.
And then it's like do 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 da do do da. It's like they put the dramatic music. I maybe got to turn around, work on this landing gear.
Yeah,
ground base.
Fine. Yeah.
Got something going on my landing gear. Boo 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 ba boo ba boo ba.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to commercial, and it's like, then he lands safely, and nothing was ever wrong with his landing gear.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch those?
Yeah, I mean I didn't really enjoy the show because like how exciting it's like, all right,
right. Unless you're really into Alaska.
We're flying these native Alaskans back to their village, and
they went to Trader Joe's or something.
One of them is getting sick on the plane, so let's do an entire 3-minute segment on.
Let's put some people
air sickness.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. It seemed a lot of it seemed pretty forced, like they were trying to make conflict out of nothing. But the Gold Rush show on Discovery Channel was way more popular.
Yeah,
where they're mining for gold.
There's a lot of whatever.
Yeah, he's dead now. I tell you, he's dead.
Yeah. You said he died. How did he die?
He got a heat stroke.
Oh, yeah,
in
heat stroke.
Canyon. Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, that's why I gamble a lot, though, because, I could save money for retirement when I'm at the age of 65, but I don't think I'm going to live to 65.
Yeah, you might be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like I eat like teriyaki and like burritos constantly. Like I'm not supposed to.
The comic Artie Lang.
Yeah.
He was on Howard Stern.
Yeah, I know.
And, a lot of coke.
Oh yeah, he had like decades long drug abuse, and he's like, I think he looks a lot older than he is. He's the same age as Rogan.
Okay, yeah.
Because I remember seeing a YouTube comment where it's like, Artie and Rogan are the same age, and it was like, "Don't do drugs, kid." And I was like, "God damn, they're the same age." Because he looks crazy old, but that's because he's did drugs for fucking 40 years. So
yeah, and he did not eat well. But I guess it's also the quality of your life, and then it's our perception of like, of like, I don't feel.
There's like Olympic athletes that get brain tumors and cancer. There's people who are, perceivably very healthy, and then they just get some random infection that kills them.
Yeah.
So, just spend. You don't have to save shit. Just spend your money, And then if you become too old to work and then you don't have any money to keep living, just end it. I think people make suicide more sad than it needs to be.
Yeah, like Robin Williams, like when he started having like the shaking, and I think that's. I mean, I'm not his family. I'm not. I think one of his last movies.
Suicide's sad. I just want to put that as it's sad, but it's people's right to commit suicide. That's what I want to say.
I mean, you have to be in a certain mind state to do it, I think. And if you give people a window to be like, you should think about this, like, I think there's a likelihood that they can be pulled out of it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, there's the Hemlock Society in like Europe, or I don't know if it's in the.
What's the Hemlock Society?
It's something like you can be part of this club to like you can have a suicide pill.
Okay.
And you're allowed to take it and just off yourself or something. But it's a supportive group of people that's like you have the right to end your life, something like that.
Oh yeah, well that's just assisted suicide, right? That's like the whole legal battle with like assisted suicide.
Probably.
But they're like a cult that
does
like assisted suicide a lot.
Like a club. I don't know.
They're like a suicide club.
If you have to go too, we hit an hour 10.
Yeah, I mean,
but I usually it's like hour 20 or something, or
yeah. I mean, I think it's a good place to wrap up. What do you think?
Yeah, do you wanna plug anything? Oh wait, yeah. How was your meeting with that?
If I had fucking dates, I would plug it.
You were you were having a meeting with a company, a business.
I'm still working on it though. Like, I don't really want to plug anything that doesn't exist yet.
No, I was just curious of how.
I mean, it's I talked to the guy. My standpoint on it is I don't want to produce anything unless there's like guaranteed money, which he's willing to pay, but he's just like, he
didn't want to pay you like $20 to $50.
Well, so no, he's willing to pay, but he is under the impression that an open mic would be better than like a booked show, and it's like explaining the semantics of comedy to someone who's never been in the comedy scene, because this is like 30 minutes north of Seattle, so like it's too far.
You're gonna have like 4 people in the show, right?
Yeah, it'll be like like host, guest spot, feature, then like closer, which is what I want to do. But I'm just trying to explain to him that an open mic wouldn't really work in Mukilteo because it's just too far north for a lot of comics to go to.
Yeah,
like you could get a few comics out, but it's like ultimately, I think he's under the impression that like an open mic will be like a trivia night where anyone who's in the bar can sign up and do their thing. And it's like, no, it's not gonna be like a good sustainable show.
Does he want a comedy open mic or a mixed open mic?
He's okay with a comedy open mic, but I think that he was kind of thinking that like, an open mic is just whoever is in the bar or whoever lives here that goes to this bar is gonna want to just sign up, and that's
maybe.
Yeah, but it's not going to be good.
I mean, that's like harnessing, like just having pay. That's harnessing like future comics. But if you're like, how about if you want?
Mukilteo's not that type of town.
Tell him if he wants to do an open mic, he has to pay you $100.
No, that's I have. Well, I quoted him. Like I quoted him at I'll do a booked show for $225.
Oh.
And then an open mic for $100. But I just think based on the location, the open mic, it's
plus how many of those comics will buy food? Like I would probably buy food, but
what comics, like right now comics would like if I put it on a Monday, because right now with COVID, like a lot of open mics are just starting to come back, but a lot of the open mics are like on Thursday. Like for some reason, all the open mics right now are like on Thursday. There's a Thursday one in Bremerton, then like 2 Thursday mics in Seattle, and then Laughs does their show on Thursday. So if I did this open mic in Mukilteo like on a Monday, comics would go out, but they wouldn't continue to go out because eventually there's going to be local Monday mics.
Maybe.
So why is someone going to drive half an hour?
Or you'll have to change the time of yours or something.
Yeah, but
but you wouldn't do that, yeah.
People are going to drive for a booked show where they'll get $50. They're not going to drive for an open mic when there's an open mic that's 10 minutes away.
Well, maybe you have to bump the price up even more.
I want to do a booked show. I don't want to do open mic.
Okay. Yeah. Then fucking stand by your guidelines.
If I was talking to a bar owner in Seattle, I would totally do an open mic for $100, or Tacoma, because all comics live in Seattle and Tacoma. But Mukilteo, it's just
would you
too
get
out of the way
a percentage of bar sales too then? On top of that?
That's why I don't really want to plug it, because it's still like under negotiation.
Right.
And I think a lot of it's like, well, I can only have 50% capacity right now. Things will open up. I think I'm talking to like 2 bars right now, and one of them I think the budget is an issue, and the other one the budget's not an issue, but he doesn't quite understand the difference between an open mic and a book show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's reputable to even put in the production work, so that's.
Yeah, I need to. It's
you're on the right path.
I gotta stop being someone who's frustrated about not getting booked enough and just start my own shit.
Right, and then you get the experience of being the master of ceremonies.
Well, and if you produce a show, you just inherently get booked more, because it's like a scratch my back, scratch your back thing.
Right, yeah. You're like, hey, I know you have to work out this bit.
Yeah, and that's why I need a budget for a show, because it's like, if I'm
right, then you can pay the talent.
Yeah, exactly. Like if people know that Craig Stewart has a show that will pay a closer $100, a feature $75, and a guest spot $25.
They'll bring their A game.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
dude, there's like people perform for $0 at places that get a crowd, or like people will. Like I've done shows like not I want to be on good terms with everyone that's booking a show, but sometimes like I've done shows where it's legitimately a packed house, and then I will receive $20, and it's like, dude, if every one of these 50 people in here is getting 2 drinks and a meal, like you should be paying the comics more than $20.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, on that note.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
A good time.